they're football players. Some of these guys are definitely going pro, but I just want to equip them with the weapons to win life because, football has changed. The landscape has changed in football. Once upon a time, you guys never attacked college players. Now they're making more money than y'all. And some of y'all are envious and jealous about that. So you're on the attack. It was hands off a college player because he's an amateur. Remember that, guys? Now it's hands on. Go at them any kind of way you want. They're making more money than me, and I'm mad about it. I'm upset about it. And when you attack them, these guys are sensitive. They've never been attacked. Most of them are out of high school or 2 years or 3 years in college, but they're still sensitive to slander. They hadn't gone through what I've been going through with y'all for years. They haven't done that. So it is what it is. I know you're going to do your job and what you must do, but your job does not say attack. Like, if they didn't play well, leave it at that. But the personal stuff, leave it to be personal. Because if we start flipping the script on y'all, you wouldn't like it. I can easy. Thank you, Lord, for stopping me there. Whoo, that was almost a good one. That would have went viral.
That's Deion alleging that people like myself, and maybe he's not thinking of me, maybe he's talking about Sean Keeler, maybe he's talking about other people in the media, that, hey, the only reason why they have something negative to say about Shedeur, or maybe Travis Hunter, or maybe Shiloh, but he's really talking about Shedeur, is because we're all jealous of Shedeur's money. And people have been talking about, like, Travis Hunter lives in a house that, most adults can't afford. Shedeur drives a car that 99.9%, 0.999% couldn't afford. He flosses the gold chains and the watches and all of that. And he thinks people are jealous and envious, and that's why they're having a conversation about whether Shedeur Sanders is a good leader and whether or not that's going to affect his NFL career. The media is having the exact same conversation about Shedeur Sanders that it's had about quarterbacks since the beginning of time. And certainly we don't have to dial the clock back very far to remember many people. Johnny Manziel. Hey, does he have the right character, the right leadership, blah, 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 to be a NFL quarterback? And there were people like Merrill Hodge that was like, whoo, boy, I've watched the film, I've watched him. Stay away from Johnny Manziel. Obviously, I believe the Cleveland Browns didn't ignore that advice and made the mistake. Dan Marino, when he came out of college, one of the reasons he went toward the end of the first round is because there were rumors about his character and rumors about whether he used cocaine or not while in college. These conversations have been going on long before college athletes started making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. But because Deion is running a football program that is solely focused on Shedeur Sanders and getting him to the NFL, Deion wants to attack the media, and we're just all jealous, racist, envious, whatever. One of these words, it has to be that. It couldn't be that Shedeur's leadership qualities and characteristics need to be called into question. It's the media's fault. We're all the bad guys. This is Daddy Dearest, Daddy Daycare. This is LeVar Ball on crack and steroids. This is embarrassing for Colorado, that university, to allow this man to turn a football program that services 100, 110 kids into a football program that services one, Shedeur Sanders. And then Deion's ego is second. And then Travis Hunter and Shiloh are somewhere mixed in there. But that's what we have going on here. And some people talk about it. Others hide behind, oh, it's racist. And again, Deion loves to say he doesn't play the race card, but that's what he's doing very subtly. the people criticizing Shedeur, they were wearing MAGA hats and said, this is MAGA country. And why did Shedeur go into the locker room early during the North Dakota State game? Oh, no, was it North Dakota State or Nebraska? Nebraska. Deion drives me crazy. He's so easy to read. Steve Kim, Korean Cosell, welcome back to the program. Is Deion here clearly talking about and defending Shedeur Sanders?
Well, first of all, good morning, Mr. Whitlock. The question is this: was that prime time or prime wine? I mean, my goodness. And of course he's talking about Shedeur and not Shiloh, because that's like Jan and Marsha Brady. There's clearly a sibling that people care about much more than the other. But I'd make a couple of points here. Travis Hunter is getting no criticism, really. I think people are lauding Travis for his play, his two-way ability, and the high level of conduct on and off the field. I think he's a very admirable figure. But when it comes to Shedeur, he's an incredibly polarizing figure. And that's the age-old trick of modern-day sports media and the people they cover. Blame the media. But Jason, it reminds me of that old classic riff from Chris Rock. When you're at the ATM at 3 a.m. in the morning, it's not the media you're looking over your back for. Let's be very, very honest about it. And his whole assertion that, well, now that they're getting NIL and all this other stuff, you guys are making them open targets and fair game. That's not true. That's simply Brian Bosworth did a whole 30 for 30 talking about how he was a target throughout the whole country. I mean, Miami fans in 1986, great people they are. They actually burned him in effigy. Okay, and they're chanting bye Bosworth. And then every good white Duke basketball player from about 1986 has been a target.
Boom.
Every single one.
That's a great example. And
they're fair targets because they're white. They can handle it, those Glacier Gliders. Fine guys they are. Also, let's go a little bit more current. Tyler Van Dyke was a player that to this day still engenders a lot of harsh feelings from Miami fans. Not necessarily because of his NIL, which he did try to leverage against Miami after spring practice last year with Alabama. But where it really fell apart, Jason, is very simple reason. His play tailed off. He threw too many interceptions. He cost the team games. Fast forward to this year. Florida State has a quarterback out of this area. St. John Bosco High School is the number one player in the country. He's been disappointing. DJ Ungalele. I know I botched that name. DJ is probably, I believe, among the most hated Florida State Seminole players. And that's a strong word. But when I watch these shows and I go on the message boards or you see social media, there's nothing personal against DJ at all. He's just not a good quarterback. And people want him benched. But it's not because suddenly he's getting an NIL. It comes down to the play. If you were to poll most college football fans that play at a certain level, their schools, I would believe 90% of them are actually in favor of players getting some form of compensation. Maybe not the way NIL has devolved into so quickly. I don't think they're against the pay, but Deion has to realize this. Once you take money, and it is a paycheck, as the NIL really is pay for play, let's be honest, you are now a professional athlete by definition, okay? And with that comes certain responsibilities and accountability.
And if he can't tough it out here, how's he going to handle it in an NFL city where we're now seeing fans waiting around after games to harass people? Daniel Jones just got Marlon Humphrey just got. How's he going to handle it in the NFL if he can't handle it now? And hey, these kids are sensitive. They haven't been criticized. They haven't been through what I've been through. What has Deion been through? He threw a cup of water on Tim McCarver. What has he been through? Well, I'm as Deion as a player compared to Brian Bosworth. Let me give you another one. Compared to Tim Tebow, what did Deion go through? Tim Tebow was lit on fire for kneeling in prayer on the football field. Now, that was it. That was his crime. And many people in the media didn't like Tim Tebow. Many fans didn't like Tim Tebow. People started calling for it. Deion
Jason,
and the victimhood and the victim mentality driving me crazy.
Jason, Baker Mayfield took a lot of heat because he was a kind of a petulant figure. Great player, won a Heisman Trophy, but Baker Mayfield got a lot of heat from opposing fans and even the media. I'll give you one better, Johnny Manziel. I mean, Johnny Manziel, I remember everything got worse after he won the Heisman. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, Johnny Manziel, he took a different form of NIL. He was a revolutionary, it turned out. But I never heard him whine about, oh, the media. It's the media's fault. It's not the media. And I'm seeing mock drafts now that 2 months ago had Shedeur in the top 5 that suddenly have him dropping. You know what's funny, Jason? I don't think it's because of his play exclusively. Let's just leave it at that. We know why he's dropping because there are certain things that come with Shedeur that most organizations are like, yeah, we're good with this.
If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.